No one wanted to sign us. You're a girl band, nobody wants it. You play rock music, nobody wants it. And we just kept going because we loved playing live.
HAIM!
Our first show had like 30 kids, and we were like,
we've made it.
We played South by Southwest.
The first 3 days, there was no one coming. And then I guess word of mouth happened. And by the end, like, we were one of those bands that had that show that no one could get into.
And we got signed almost immediately.
Was it hard for you to define the difference between bandmate and sister?
Oh, therapy. There was a lot of pressure. It was the biggest roller coaster of my life.
This season is presented by NMPA, the National Music Publishers Association, champions of songwriters and publishers everywhere. Welcome to And the Writer Is. I am your host, Ross Golan. Today's trio of musical geniuses blend their unmistakable sibling harmonies into a mix of delicious genre-bending batter. They've crafted a sound that's both timeless and fresh out the oven. Oh. They've toured the world, collaborated with some of the biggest names in music, and cooked up albums that have resonated deeply with multiple generations of listeners. Hailing all the way from the Valley, this band has always embraced a journey of sonic evolution, innovation, and undeniable authenticity. And the writers is HAIM.
Yay! What a beautiful
Thank
intro.
you so much.
I'd never had empathy for older children until I had my son, when I realized, oh my God, you have to be brave and like enter the world like as this.
Yeah, we're warriors. We were like, I mean, I feel for you.
Wait,
I
where
feel
are
for my
you? Do you
parents.
have siblings?
I have an older sister. I'm learning what it's like to be an older sibling through my son. And so
It's rough.
why is it rough?
Well, because my parents didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and they made there's no blueprint. Like, I feel for my parents, but like they were the strictest with me. I wasn't allowed to do anything. I mean, I literally my parents were basically like, oh, you want to play with your friends? Your sisters are in the backyard. Go have fun.
Oh, what a chore.
But do you know what I mean? But do you know what I mean?
Do you remember life before Danielle?
Oh, she loved it.
That was
like that was SU's
party
like
time.
3 years of her life.
That
First
was
3 years.
party time. Yeah. And then Danielle came along. I cut off all her hair the second she turned 3. She literally, I gave her the word. Yeah. While she was sleeping.
Oh, that's
SU was that kind of sibling.
Both creepy and funny.
I hated her. Are you kidding me? I was like, you literally just came and blew up my life. Like, everything was great until you came along.
At what age did you realize that they're pretty cool?
I would say like when
last year.
Yeah, literally 10 minutes ago.
You're still
I'm
in
still
there.
trying to figure it out.
Yeah, okay.
No,
Sure,
I think
it hasn't happened yet.
I think once I got my driver's license,
Yes. Big deal.
that was really like life changing.
Yes.
I got
I
my
would agree.
license. My parents were, like I said, very like strict. I understand. Like, they were raising 3 girls.
But you're like, I mean, there are archetypes of every, the birth order of children. And you are.
I was the most responsible.
You're a
Yes.
true oldest child.
Yes, very protective.
You're the most studious. You went to college.
Yes.
Like you're
think-
the type A,
Yes,
overachiever.
but I think I was also the most rebellious.
Speaking to the youngest child.
I think I was the most rebellious.
Why?
Okay, you can think that.
Do you guys disagree with that?
I think I was the most rebellious.
Does everybody think they're the most rebellious?
I don't know if
Or
I was
Danielle
rebellious.
was not the most
I'm a
rebellious.
stealth rebellion.
To be fair,
rebel?
Danielle-
Stealth rebel. Stealth rebel.
You were a stealth rebel. No, Danielle did leave. Danielle was the first person to leave and like go see the world out of the siblings, because I know I always speak for Danielle, just so everybody knows. I know it's like a HAIM trait that we never let Danielle speak, but Danielle left at 19.
But who helped you?
You did.
You did.
I went on my first tour when I was 19.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I went out one night and met this
It was a little like that thing you do. It was literally like that.
Yeah,
thing
I met this guy, Michael Runyon, and he was going on tour with Jenny Lewis.
Okay.
And he was opening up for her. And I met him one night out. I think I was at Spaceland. And, we would all go out in right after high school, like I started going out, and Esty was at UCLA, but like I went on a whim to like the free night at Spaceland on Mondays or something, and I met this guy Michael Runyon, and we started talking. He's like, "Oh, do you play instruments?" And I was like, "I am. I'm a drummer. I play guitar." And he was like, "I need a drummer. I'm going on tour in a week." And I was like, "Oh my God, no way! With who?" And he was like, "Well, my really good friend Jenny Lewis. We're opening up for her." And I was like, and I was obsessed with Jenny.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "We need a drummer. My drummer's mom just got sick and he has to go to Texas." So it was like, and I was at Valley College actually at the time, and I was working also at American Rag selling shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a 2-week tour. And I just was like, all right, this is my dream. I'm going on tour in a van.
How did your strict parents?
Oh my God. Well, so that's where Esty
I
came in,
rode
because
for
my
her.
parents were, I was still living at home. We had just started playing shows as HAIM, I think a year before that. And we were still gigging like every weekend. And, yeah, my parents were like, "You're going to go in a van with
Well, because it happened
strangers?"
so quick. It was like, I'm going on tour and it leaves in 7 days.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't like, I'm going on tour in a couple weeks. Like it was like, I'm doing this. My parents were like, what is happening?
No, they were like,
What?
no.
Yeah.
And also,
You guys
I was technically in school, so I would have to miss like,
Yeah.
3 weeks or 2.5 weeks of school. And they were like, "What? Like, you're going to go to school and then you're going to go to UCLA after that. You're going to go to Valley College and UCLA. And then you're also going to have your band with your sisters. Like, why are you leaving?" And I was like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
It seems
Gotta
like
get out.
parents being supportive of the band and also schooling feel like those are not on the same page.
Yeah,
I think they
totally.
were more just because we never really left LA growing up. So I think they were more just like, you're getting in a van. It's like also Almost Famous. Your movie is like a million different movies. It's like, I'm gonna get in a van with people that we didn't grow up with, that we didn't really know, that Danielle met at a bar in on the east side.
And also, I was like, I snuck into Spaceland. Like, I had a fake ID.
Yeah,
like,
she was
we were-
19.
Yeah.
Like it was, my parents were like, this is where, I mean, my mom was like, I'm having a dream. That
You're having a
something bad's gonna
vision. Something
happen."
bad's going to happen. And we're like,
and-
Esty was the one that
stepped in.
stepped in and was like, "She needs to go. Like, she needs to go."
And then my parents were like, okay. Don't know how
you were
Jedi mind tricked.
She was still in high school.
Alana was
I was in high school.
You were
I
still
was
in high
a
school.
sophomore in high school, I think. Yeah, sophomore in high
But
school.
yeah, that tour changed my life because I basically was the drummer in Michael's band, and then Jenny saw me play with him, and then she invited me to play percussion and guitar in her band the next year. And then she had the same manager as Julian Casablancas at the time, and then he needed a band, so then I went from Jenny's band to Julian's band the next year.
And
So
And
I
this
was
is
like,
this at the time is this is obviously after the Strokes.
yeah. So
Yeah,
this
this
was
is-
his solo project.
This was a solo
Yeah.
project.
This was
right?
in 2009, and it was his solo project, which I love that album so much, and I just learned so much in that like 3 years of touring.
But yeah, then Julian took us on. That was our first
Yeah.
tour.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Alana was still in
I was
high
still in
school.
high school. I missed.
Can you believe?
I missed the last
How
like.
did you graduate high school?
I did. Like, I mean, I
By
went
the
to an
skin
arts
of her
high.
teeth.
I went to an arts high school in downtown Loxa. We all three went there, and by senior year, it was like the last month of senior year. By like the last month, everyone was like, "I don't care, do whatever you want."
Yeah.
Like they were like, "Go off." It was
Please
great.
go.
It was
Yeah.
amazing. But yeah, I missed 2 weeks of my last month in high school, and I like went on tour. I was like touring in a van. And it was the first time I had ever experienced. I mean, it was insane. That felt like Almost Famous to me.
Do you guys feel like you missed out on college?
I think now I do,
Yeah.
just because I think, maybe a little bit. I mean, again, like I felt at the time it was so cool because all my friends were in college while I was then touring.
Well,
the
we also
world.
didn't get into college. So
Yeah, I
we
didn't
went
get
to
in.
community college.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we like had like we couldn't get in. Me and Danielle, Esty had the grades. Esty was like an amazing student. Me
Thank
and
you, Alana.
Danielle
No.
were not amazing students at all. Also, Danielle was a senior when I was a freshman. So and she was my carpool driver. She would drive me to school every day.
To get to Loxa, you had to go like an
Yeah.
hour out. So we were in the car a lot, and
Danielle would just turn to me and be like, "Do you want to go to school today?" And I'd be like, "No."
we just
And then
would
the
never go to
funniest part
school.
about it is like weirdly like our school to like get like your absentee slip, you just needed to call, like you would have like your mom on the phone and you would give it to the lady and she would be like, oh, they had a dentist appointment, whatever.
So who do you think was the mom?
We changed our name, our mom in our phone was Estee's number. And we would just give our flip phone to the lady and be like, oh, sorry, the girls had a dentist appointment literally every day. We had, I have the worst teeth of all
I still
time.
have nightmares about not graduating. I like hardly graduated high school.
Danielle
barely,
which is so
barely
funny
graduated.
because I also just think that just generally, like, I would think that Danielle would probably be the most like studious out of all three of us. Like Danielle, there was no question I was graduating. Like I always made sure that my grades were just good enough.
Yeah.
To get by. Danielle was like failing classes. And like,
thanks. I wasn't failing.
You failed one class.
I failed one class, okay?
But you almost didn't graduate because of
God
it.
damn.
Sorry.
What,
Sorry. Not to
Esty,
blow
what
your
did you
spot.
study in school at UCLA?
Ethnomusicology.
Okay, so your fallback plan would have been an ethnomusicologist. So your best
Yeah.
Is your mic too far? Sorry to
Is
do
it-
this.
oh,
Is
I
it-
don't know.
Is it
Can
too
you-
far away?
Sounds like you could bring a little.
Okay, got you.
Oh, sorry. Check 1 2.
Now it's so
It's
close.
perfect.
You're
Now
like,
it's so
"Oh,
incredibly
it's
close.
enough."
Can you hear me?
I bet we sound amazing now.
Thank you.
It all of a sudden becomes the most sultry podcast we've
Oh,
ever
hi.
done.
Hi, guys. Yeah, ethnomusicology was an amazing. No, it was a great place to go to school. I really, I studied Bulgarian music and Brazilian percussion at UCLA. And I also got to use UCLA as my personal piggy bank to hire bands to come.
Yeah,
and
you were part
play
of
shows.
CEC.
CEC, yeah, the Campus Events Commission.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a weird time for me because I was at UCLA and I would be studying for like my music of like Greece final, and I would get on the phone with Danielle and she'd be like, "Oh, Essie, I can't talk right now. I'm playing Fuji Rock Festival with Julian Casablancas. Sorry for Butsu Moretti's like trying to get my attention. Bye." And I'd be like, it'd be like 4 a.m. and I'd be like,
Did you resent them?
resent? No.
No.
Jealous? Yes. I was like, oh my God, like my sister is literally like, I was in school studying the stuff. Like I wasn't in school because I wanted to like write a book on the music of Bulgaria. Right. I was in school because I wanted to make my parents proud. I wanted, as the oldest, if we're really circle back.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
you are the stereotype.
Yes, I'm fully the stereotype of the older sibling. I just
But
saw.
you love school.
You
I
also
did love school.
She loved school.
I did love school.
We did
I
not.
hated it.
We did not.
I was, well, it wasn't even that. I was just good at it. I liked like weirdly like write. I didn't like the tests. I loved the lectures and I liked writing the papers. That was my, I don't know. But when I was at UCLA, it was under the guise of I'm doing this literally to get the piece of paper,
Yeah.
to make my mom and dad
Honestly,
proud.
I know, thank you for
because
doing
if
that.
you didn't
Yes.
do it, we would
No,
have had
that's
to do
true.
it.
It would have gone down. I mean, honestly, you're right. I did it for you.
You did it for.
I didn't do it
honestly,
for
you
mom
did
and
it for
dad.
us.
I did it for you.
And we appreciate your service.
When did your parents feel like you guys were okay?
I would say when we played SNL.
Yeah.
That was like a really big. My parents literally had no clue what was going on when it came to us coming up as HAIM. Like, obviously, we would play shows. To do a very quick wrap up, we like went to the UK. No one wanted to sign us in America.
Yeah, we were just playing around LA while also I was touring sometimes.
Yeah,
but
Danielle
we were
would
playing
come
in
home
LA
and we would tour.
for like 6 years, just anywhere we could get a gig.
We would open for any band under the
Yeah,
sun.
like,
Obviously, that's what you do.
A lot of
like,
like clubs in
there was
like-
the Knitting Factory, there was the
Yeah.
Roxy, there's the Echo, the Smell,
The Troubadour.
the Troubadour. We played it all. We played it all.
Spaceland,
Spaceland,
Silver Lake Lounge,
like
Yeah.
700 times.
7 billion
over and
times.
over and over again. And you think, when you do this, you're like, the record company man is gonna come with a finished contract,
Yeah,
and they're gonna
and
be
a
like, I
cigar.
saw you, and you're gonna sign your life away.
Yeah. You gotta
And
make
that's what we
big,
like
kid.
thought what would happen. And
Our
that didn't
favorite show
happen.
growing up was Behind the Music.
Yeah.
Or at least I'm speaking, maybe
Yeah.
my
No,
opinion.
Did you watch that growing up?
Of course.
Of course
Yeah.
you did. Yeah.
I mean, this is what this podcast is.
Right.
Oh my god.
So
It
we
doesn't
were just,
exist now.
I know.
Yeah.
I wish it did. Well, now we have this. So it's great.
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, we just thought we were going to get signed just by playing
And,
clubs,
yeah.
but that never.
No one wanted to
happened.
sign us. I mean, there was like all excuses under the sun. Like, you're a girl band, nobody wants it. You play rock music, nobody wants it. And we just kept going because we loved playing live. Like, that was
Yeah.
like our favorite thing to do in life, was playing live. And then we met Ludwig Göransson, USC alum.
He saw us playing in the lobby of the Roosevelt.
The Roosevelt Hotel.
To
I was
4 people.
I was playing. It was like kind of like a stripped down. I was playing a big kick drum, sitting down like on its side. Danielle was playing guitar out of like an amp like this big.
Because we couldn't be that loud. It was
We
the
couldn't be that loud.
hotel
You're in the
lobby.
lobby. Like, we were like, it was so crazy. And he saw us in the lobby and was like, "Yeah, let's do something."
Shoot, do you want to come to my studio?
And we had never really worked in a home studio before. Like, all we would do is like, to try and get a song on our MySpace wall. We would like save up all of our money all year and go into like one of the Valley studios and be there for one day and be like, we're gonna make as many
We're gonna
songs
write.
as we can.
We're gonna record
Sickest
10
demo.
songs.
Sick
Sickest
in the
demo and put it
world.
on MySpace. So
But
we
it
get
always
booked at the
just-
Troubadour. And it always sounded bad. And Ludwig was the first person that like, he was doing the music for Community, that a show on with
he was
Todd Glover.
scoring.
He was
And so he
scoring.
said, I have my own studio. Why don't you guys just come and we can like work on music? And
After
we were like,
I'm done with my
we
work.
were like,
so
for-
like at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
to like 2 in
for
the morning.
free.
Those
He
who don't know
charged-
who Ludwig is, he's maybe the biggest film composer right now.
Of all time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so like,
This
now
was
thinking about it,
2011. This was 2011.
2011. We're so insanely like in awe of Ludwig. Like, first of all, he again was like the
When
first,
did you know that guy had the skill sets to be the biggest composer?
Oh,
From the
right
second we
away.
met
From
him.
the
Right
jump.
away. I mean, again,
was
we
so
met him
talented.
in the lobby and he also is Swedish, like,
Yeah.
and he was just like, come to my studio.
And we were like, okay.
for free? And he was like, yeah. And we were like,
Out of like the
what?
goodness, I've never met somebody that is so insanely giving, and from the goodness of his heart, like saw us as a band. And like,
like-
it for a 3-song EP, it took us almost 4 months to make.
Well, because we were also going into his studio after he was done scoring. So we'd come in and he'd be like finishing his Community score.
And also watching that was like a ballet. Like, it was
Yeah.
insane.
It was crazy.
how
He would just, like,
amazing- it would just be like,
Grab a guitar, grab the bass. He would
How
play
were you-
everything.
How were you guys surviving as humans? And at that point, you're done with school.
We were all living
You
at
guys
home.
you're all living at
Danielle,
home.
Esty was living.
Cheesecake Factory.
Yes, he worked at every
The
restaurant.
Daily Grill.
But you
the
worked
counter.
at the grill at that point. Or the counter.
The counter.
Yeah, the counter.
Wasteland, Urban Outfitters. Like, I did it all. I worked
Yeah.
at a tanning salon. I did it all.
And we were also living at home, and I was working at Crossroads Trading Company. Danielle was at.
I was like
Bragging
living
about-
off
not
of
bragging
my
American Idol.
at that point
Touring.
I was living off of the touring money. I mean, it was
But
very
you were
small,
still
but-
living at home.
Yeah.
No, but
Still lived at
Ludwig
home.
would literally call us, like, we'd be in bed.
Yeah, I'd be in PJs,
And like about to go to bed, and we'd get a text from Ludwig that was like, I got 2 hours.
and we'd be like,
And we'd be like,
here we go.
all
And we would
right.
go to his
And then we
studio.
would drive, because we're all living at home, we would drive together to go to Ludwig's studio and get guitar like tracking done. So it was literally, we were just chipping away at it like day after day for this like 4 or 5 month period.
Yeah, and then the Forever EP came out, and
Well-
that was being played in the UK. Like, it got into the hands. We played South by Southwest. No one wanted to sign us still. Marianne Hobbs, XFM, we love you. We'll say it till the day we die. Changed our lives. She started playing one of the songs on the radio, and that is what brought us to the UK. And we got signed almost immediately when we got to the UK. We played like a bunch of.
This is a very
shows.
abridged version.
I am, because I wanted. Well, the thing is, the question was, how did your parents know that you were in? So I'm trying to get to SNL.
Okay, this is very
so then,
abridged.
I'm sorry, abridged. There's a lot of things in between, but like I'm trying to get to the answer to the question. So then we got signed in the UK, and I mean, it took a lot.
I feel like we don't have to go through the whole
Okay,
thing.
fine. So SNL.
Yeah.
We finally get SNL after getting. Sorry, I don't mean. I'm trying to do all
Yeah,
the
no,
steps
it's
here.
okay.
When we got SNL, first of all, SNL to us growing up, that was like our family show. We would watch. That was the only time my parents let us stay up past 9 p.m. for our bedtime. We would watch SNL as a family, and it was, Maya Rudolph, Molly Shannon, Sherry O'Terry, Anna Gasteyer, like all the funny girls. That's just why like we grew up thinking it was cool to be funny, was because we saw all these women on SNL being so unapologetically funny and like physical comedy and just such like it's just the best. It was just the best era. And so when we got SNL, my parents were like, what?
Yeah.
You guys
Like,
are going to be
what?
on SNL? And we were like, yeah. And they're like, can we come? And I was
You're
like,
I think
yeah.
so.
But
Isn't
it
it
was
jarring
wild.
when you do SNL and you go onto that stage and you realize that how much of the design is to show depth? But there's
Oh, yeah.
It's
you
this
have
small.
the
It's this
stage.
small.
The
Yeah,
stage
it's this
is
small.
tiny. When you go on the stage there, it is jarring how much
It
those
was
band
wild.
members are sitting on top of each
I
other.
know.
Yeah.
It's
It's
brilliant.
it's a crazy place, and I think the funniest thing is when we played SNL the first time, we didn't even have in-ears yet. Like we weren't playing on in-ears; we were just playing on wedges. And we showed up, and we were like, "Okay." They were like, "You can't. We
Yeah, you can't
haven't.
have
We
wedges,
haven't
yeah.
seen
They got
anybody."
wedges
They were like,
out of storage.
"Nobody has used wedges in like 15
Since
years
since the 70s.
Like,
Yeah.
And we were
everybody-
trying to get it louder, and they were like, "It's going to feed back. Like,
yeah,
we
you
can't,
can't.
have
So
that."
when we play, I still haven't watched our first SNL performance because it's like terrifying. But like literally, like our wedges were like a whisper, and I just
Yeah.
remember the only thing I remember from playing SNL, which I've said before, but there's this one. There was like a brick facade on the outside of the stage, and I just stared during "Don't Save Me." I just stared at a brick for the 3 minutes because I was like, if I see that red light. I
yeah.
will literally piss my pants. Like it'll be a
Do you
stream of
guys
pee.
get anxiety from performing?
On
No.
SNL, of course.
I think
you know,
live television is
Yeah.
is because
pretty terrifying.
well, because the thing that people also
Worst
don't
anxiety
understand.
attack I've ever had is doing a live show.
Oh,
Oh
I'm
my god,
sure.
Which
that
one?
tracks.
And you're
That
just-
makes
Which
sense.
one?
you're just- It was I did South by Southwest a lot, and we did a thing that we did it in the studio for one of the major networks had like a thing.
yeah, yeah.
we did. It
that's
was not
scary.
fun.
No,
No,
it's
that's
Also
not
opened
right.
for the Strokes in like
You
1999.
did?
Oh my god,
Before they were signed to
99?
before they were
in New York.
No, it's South by.
Oh, it's South
Before
by.
they
No way.
before they were signed to RCA.
So were they signed to Rough Trade maybe, or maybe it was like
They had just printed out the demo, which I have somewhere.
the modern age?
Oh, the modern age.
Yeah, so crazy. The EP.
Crazy.
But it's just like weird. Like the journey of an aspiring musician in not just LA, but the country is this, you constantly are knocking on the door, meeting this person who knows this person who knows this person. What is it about the UK audience that understands HAIM better than anyone else in the world?
What is crazy about that is we recognized that trajectory of certain bands that we loved happening, like the Strokes, huge in the UK before they were in the US, White Stripes, even like Tom Petty, and I think we were always like, we want to go to the UK, but I don't know how we're going to get there. And it's crazy that it just so happened that happened to us.
Yeah.
That wasn't by design. It was just that Marion Hobbs on XFM.
to now make the story a little bit
There
longer.
we go.
Marion Hobbs at XFM started playing
Better Off.
from our EP. And we were actually at South by, our first South by, and playing the beginning of the week, we played to 3 people. And we also didn't get accepted to South by
Yeah.
when we
They
went.
sent us that like
They
sad,
sent us that sad letter.
They were like,
Yeah,
so
you
we're
don't
like,
get an
all
official
right.
showcase, babe.
Well,
You get on the there's like Red Gorilla, and there's like if you go to South by, when I first went in '99, it was also at a place that's Iron Cactus doesn't even have music there anymore. But it was like maybe the total week was 400 bands, which was a lot.
Yeah.
a lot.
Now there's
like
3,000,
oh,
and
crazy.
they all play
Easily.
multiple shows a
Oh, yeah.
day,
Oh, yeah.
all throughout
We were
Austin.
one of those bands.
And there's like, and you go there with maybe if you're fortunate, you have a label who funds the money
Oh, no,
for
we
you to
didn't
play in
have
front of
that.
nobody.
Yeah,
and
no.
then otherwise you're still
No, we didn't have
word of
anything.
mouth,
We,
like,
we went and
we got that letter and we were
got
like,
that letter. Like,
uh-oh.
shit, do we still go? And we're like, no, we're gonna go, because we had a lot of friends that were booking their own shows. So we're like,
Oh,
okay,
cool.
so we'll just
Open-
basically bank on all of our friends putting us on their shows.
But we were
So-
like beginning
Yeah.
of the bill.
yeah,
Like
so
there
it
was
was
no
like
prime time.
our
slot.
shows. A lot of our shows were at like 11 a.m.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll never forget, like the first I think we did like 14 shows in 5 days, something like that.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
So like the first 3 days, there was no one coming. And then I guess word of mouth happened. And by the end, like we were one of those bands that had that like show that no one could get into. And we were just like mind blown. And I think it was that same day that we heard that Marion Hobbs was playing us in the UK. And we were like, what? That is the craziest shit I've ever heard of. So we still did it at South by, but still, even though we had like some success at South by, still no US label wanted to sign us. And so we were like, we had heard of this other kind of South by Southwest-ish festival in the UK called
The Great
Escape in Brighton. And we were like, well, we got to go to that. Let's go to that because it seems like there's something going on in the UK. And we went over there, just like us and our drummer and
On wedges.
On
With our
wedges. With our wedges.
But we ended up going to that festival and then went to London to play a few shows. And then we got our first like record offer.
Was it
which was
hard for
crazy.
you guys to define the difference between bandmate and sister?
Oh,
Kenny with the hard question.
therapy. I think we've just always been. I mean, HAIM was our second band. We were in a band with our parents called Rockin where we would play covers.
for like
You know
15
this?
years.
I
You
didn't
don't
know
know
that.
that?
Yeah. So we were in,
Flashback.
sorry, flashback.
So the way you got introduced to music was because your parents were music lovers.
Our parents were
yeah.
music lovers, like loved just playing like covers and playing music in our living room. Like they never wrote songs.
No,
They never knew.
and they never had aspirations to become, big musicians. They just loved playing music. My mom grew up giving guitar lessons to like the local kids in her neighborhood. My
She
dad,
loved like Bonnie and
Joni, and
that was like her.
my mom was like a folk queen that loved to disco dance though.
Oh, yeah. She was a hippie dippy
She was
disco
the
dancer.
head. She loved the disco dance, and my dad loved playing drums, and like they kind of fell in love by their love of music as well. And so my dad had a dream. This is a whole folklore thing. My dad had a dream one night that he was gonna be in play music with his kids, and the next day there was like this. Before Craigslist, there was this thing called the Recycler, which it was like a printout. And it was before the internet, before anyone knew what they had, like price wise.
Did you ever fuck with the recycler?
Get gear
Yeah,
from the
of course.
recycler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that and the LA Weekly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Especially, like, when
the
it-
Same
printout.
thing.
Yeah, if you're gonna play like any open mic,
Yes.
you had to know.
Oh, yeah.
both
Yeah,
of
of course.
Yes.
So my dad saw that there was like a church in Barstow that was selling a bunch of instruments. My dad
bunch of gear.
drove to Barstow, and he literally got everything for like dirt
Yeah.
cheap. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy.
It's like $400 for
And
everything.
he came home. I was 4 years old, and we started Rockin
Just,
which
like,
was just
jamming.
cover bands. We were just
Jamming.
jamming.
Did
In
you
the living
perform
room.
in front of humans.
We
Yeah.
ended
So,
up doing just
yeah.
charity. It was just for charity.
Yeah.
Because we ended up getting okay. Like it was very cute. Like we weren't like amazing, especially not in the beginning. I feel like every time I'm nervous, I look
Would
at the
you guys
camera.
trade off? I know it's somewhat different now, but were you guys trading off who would sing at the time?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would sing some verses. Our mom would sing a lot. We
Yeah.
would all kind of just trade off vocals
And then we would-
and
Have you brought them on stage to sing with
A
you?
million
Oh, yeah.
times.
We just did at Jazz Fest.
At Jazz Fest.
Oh, nice.
They just played with us at Jazz Fest. It was their festival debut. It was very cute. But that's how we learned early songwriting was what we would do in Rockin because also this is before
This is like 90.
lyrics.com, like and any sort of internet.
We didn't have
kind
a
of thing.
computer.
We didn't have a computer. We didn't have
We
anything.
didn't have internet.
So we would listen to K Earth 101. Shout out to K Earth 101.
Careth
101.
Rick Dees.
And we had like a tape recording radio situation. So my parents would like wait for a song that they thought would be easy enough for us to learn, or for at least my mom to be able to pick out the chords. And we would record it from the radio. And my mom would listen to the tape a million times, like pick out the chords, would teach Danielle and Esty like what to play. And I was on percussion. I mean, I was 4, so I could only pick up drumsticks. So I had a cowbell. I was like literally like the Partridge Family, like the one that only played like triangle. And we would first go through chords. Then after that, we would go through lyrics. We would write down the lyrics, and we had this like cute little Rockin book. A lot of the lyrics were wrong, obviously, because we're like listening from like a radio thing. But that's how we learned early songwriting, is because you figure out patterns in these early songs. It's really easy to, be like, oh, this is a 1-4-5 structure, like bridge, chorus, chorus, verse, chorus, like that.
When did you guys decide to write music? NMPA is our lead sponsor yet again. What is the National Music Publishers Association? What do publishers have to do with songwriters anyway? Well, unlike artists who can be unsigned artists, there is no such thing as an unsigned writer. You can be a self-published, a co-published, or a published writer. Publishers only make money if songwriters make money. So NMPA goes and fights for you. They go to Congress, they go and support the community, they fight DSPs to get you paid more. That's what they do. They fight for you, and they fight for this podcast. So thank you for fighting for songwriters, NMPA. Thank you for fighting for us too. Okay, so I use Splice, and I'm pretty sure every producer who listens to this uses Splice, but if you don't, you need to start using Splice. They have the most incredible licensing library that you can go through for any kind of samples you can think of, but they take care of their original creators. In fact, they just came out with a beta version of their AI suite. Unlike its competitors that we know that may not take care of the original creators, every time you use Splice's AI tool, it triggers a licensing event for those original creators. So there's not a better company that I can think of right now that you can use where you can use the efficiency of AI and also know that you're taking care of the creators. And that is Splice. When did you guys decide to write music?
That was later. That was like, I think
2006.
Like when I was realizing I didn't want to go to college. And that's kind of when we decided like, maybe we should start trying to write.
So did you guys
songs.
write with each other for the first time?
Yeah. I mean, they were awful
What's
songs.
the first song you guys wrote?
I don't even remember.
That's
They were
not
really
true.
bad.
They were really
There's
bad.
no
They were
way
really
that's
bad.
true.
They were really
What's
bad.
the first song?
I'll never tell.
Together?
I'll never tell. I'll never tell.
What's it called?
I honestly don't. I genuinely. There was
Okay.
like a group of songs that we would play that.
Honestly, I think
don't.
we blocked it out. Trying to
But
think.
there was like that summer. So basically, it was a very pivotal summer because Danielle was about to graduate high school. I was a freshman. Essie was in college. And
I was like, I'm not going to college. I'm going to just stay in LA and just go to Valley College. And
So
maybe we can start writing songs and playing them out.
we like went into our living room. We like plucked out a couple chords and like probably wrote. I genuinely do not remember the first song. Like I remember like the first one that we thought was like pretty good.
What
but,
was
like,
that?
The Wire.
No way.
But
That was after a year.
That was after 2 years.
2 years of writing. That was like the first song where I was like,
There's something here.
there's something here. But that was in 2008. So we started writing in 2000.
And then that song didn't come out till 2013.
Yeah. So
That was that's the oldest song we have as HAIM. That I remember that was the first song we wrote. And we were like, this is kind of good. And we kept it.
But also that song went through 75. I mean, we rewrote that song a
Iterations.
million times. By the time it came out on Days Are Gone, it had gone through, I mean, again, we wrote it in 2008. So like you can imagine it went through a lot of different things. But we would write songs and like our first show as HAIM was on 7707. We thought that was very poetic. And it was at a clown museum in the Valley called the CIA. Which
Did you ever go there?
Have you been?
Did you ever go
Nope.
to CIA?
It's still around. I don't know if it's still open, but
I
I've
do
seen
have a
the
cousin
gate.
who's in the Clown Hall of Fame, and that's true.
Oh,
Oh,
amazing.
cool. At the CIA?
At the CIA?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But I grew up with
It's
him
like-
dressing up as a clown. He
Oh,
was
I
a
love
normal- He was
that.
like a.
I'm sure he
Cool.
knows what the
Normally
CIA
said.
is, but it
Yeah.
was like this thing where like Danielle was about like it was the last party before everybody in Danielle's grade went off to college. So like our first show had like 30 kids, and we were like,
Or we've made it.
"See
We
you on
did it.
TRL,
Yeah.
see you on TRL." And then when everyone left, we played our next show, and there was my parents,
Yeah.
and no
The
one
bouncer.
there. And then we were
And
like,
that was
"Wait a
kind of
minute."
the trajectory of
I
HAIM.
wish musicians now would rehearse a song for 2 years before it comes out. Because
yeah.
I
I mean,
our
we did
day
that.
job,
We did that
you have
for
to-
every
you have to write. You have to now. You write and sometimes even record
like
the
same
day you
right.
do it.
That's interesting.
And what you learn from.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We should actually extend this part or shorten this
Totally.
part.
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Structure.
Well, also
And what
playing
it
a
took you 2 years to write The Wire. It didn't take you It was the first song you knew had a seed.
Yes.
But it took you
Yeah.
2 years to write
yeah.
that song if you're being totally honest about
Totally.
that.
For sure. No, there were many songs before The Wire, let's be honest, that were not
Yeah.
great. But we always kept The Wire very close to our hearts because we kind of knew that there was something there. But I think that really good. I mean, to your point, I think the thing that really helped us was that we loved being openers. We were like
We loved
all
just
about
playing
opening.
live,
We
yeah.
loved playing live. We loved like
But I think it helped us so much, the fact that we were just, playing for 5 years in LA to no one. It really, once it came time for us to for labels to come and see us, we were, I would say, like a really great live band because we did do all of that kind of
Wood shedding.
in
10,000
clubs.
hours.
Was getting recognized at the Brits or the NME Awards, was that the moment where you felt like you had made it?
I don't know if we
felt
feel
we
like
made
that.
it.
No.
I
I
think
don't
that
we've-
was it was getting a Brit was
That was
amazing
great. Well, because of all
we
of
got
our-
to thank the UK
Yeah.
like formally.
Yeah.
I mean, I think every time we go to the UK, that feels like, I mean, second home is like too little of a word. Like it is such a pivotal point. Like I would not be sitting here today without the loving embrace of the UK. And I say every time we play in the UK, I'm like, thank you for like embracing us.
Oh, we love
Because it was a really
Yeah.
long journey to get there. So getting a Brit was the first time I could just fully thank everyone that had ever come to our shows, and also, thank the amazing collaborators that we had on Women in Music Part 3. It was just it was a huge honor to be honored in a place that I wasn't born in. And that the journey had brought me there, and it was the biggest roller coaster of my life. So it was very nice to have that.
Yeah.
Our listeners love hearing stories about songs.
Okay.
But I don't think of you guys as a song band. I think of you as an album band,
Oh, thank
okay.
you.
Thank
I'll
you.
take it.
which is the first time that I've said that
Oh, wow.
on this thing. So there you go. So I'm actually going to mention the albums, and I want
Okay.
to hear a story about the album that meant something to you. So
Great.
tell me a story about Days Are Gone.
Oh my God.
Days Are Gone.
Oldest child.
I know, the oldest child. I mean, I think when I think about Days Are Gone, first of all, we were flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
Like by the time that Forever EP had come out, and then we had Don't Save Me come out, and it was just we were making songs and putting them out as it was happening. Like everything was just happening so fast. Like it felt like it took us, I mean it took us 7 years to get to that point, and then we had no time. Like it was like,
Yeah, it was
what is
like-
happening? And we were collaborating with people in the UK, and we were
Yeah,
there
we
was so
actually
many-
had three, I guess officially like three different producers on that album. We had Ludwig, who we did the first EP with, and then once we got signed, and then the UK. Also, the thing about UK labels is they want singles really fast.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, great, you just got signed. We need another song in
Like
2
now.
months. And we were
And we were like, we have
Oh my
what
gosh.
are
It
we
took
doing?
us 2 years to write.
yes.
literally.
Well, at that point we had, I mean, I will say we were lucky that we kind of had a stockpile of songs, that we had been working on for, like those 5 to 7 years. So then there was, it was like, you need to make a song tomorrow. And I remember really being a fan of James Ford at the time. I know Florence had just come out with all of her music that he had produced. And they were like, who would you want to work with? And we were like, James Ford?
Can you
Like,
get James
he's
Ford on
cool.
the horn?
And he came to LA. We went to Sunset Sound. We had 2 days. And again, this was after like painstakingly working on our EP with Ludwig for like
4
4
months.
months. And it was kind of like, okay, great. Like go. And I was like, okay, I've never recorded at Sunset Sound. Can we go into the Prince room? Like,
Yeah.
and they were like,
Literally.
sure. Like you have 2 days. And we were like, okay.
Okay.
And I will say like James was like so amazing just coming in and really like collaborating with us in such a meaningful way. And we like knocked out Don't Save Me in 2 days, which at the time was crazy, but I was just like, okay, well, we have to do this. So we did that really quickly. And then
It was falling.
it was falling. So then at the same time, since James lived in the UK, the label was also asking us like, what other producers do you want to work with? And at the time I remember
Climax?
Yeah, Climax that just came out, that song, the Usher song with Diplo, and every time a song that I love comes out, I'm immediately in the credits. Like, who did this? What is this? This is the coolest shit of all time. And I remember seeing this name, Ariel Rechtshaid, and I was like, I wonder, that's like such an interesting name. Like, I wonder like who this guy is. And then a couple months later, this Cass McCombs album came out and loved it immediately, looked up who it was. And then it was like producer Ariel Rechtshaid. And I was like, the same guy who did Cass McCombs is like, did Usher. Like, you know, and I think growing up, we just love all types of music. Like, we love pop, you know, like it just doesn't matter what it is, but we like just love a whole different array of music. And I think, you know, our references really span, like, I don't know, everything. So
Carrots
seeing
101
this name,
Bulgarian music, it would kind of ran the
seeing
gamut.
this name, I was like, who is this guy? It turned out he's a Valley guy. You know,
Grew up in the
Valley, had a studio in Burbank, and it was like, I was like, I want to meet this guy. And we went to the studio in Burbank with him, and we just really hit it off musically. And
we finished the album.
Yeah.
And so like when I think the thing, we just had our 10-year anniversary of Days Are Gone, which is
and I think like the
crazy.
biggest compliment I've seen sometimes when people write about it is that like it is so cohesive. Because at the time I was like, is this crazy? Like, you know, I loved records like The Strokes, you know, only produced by Gordon Raphael, like one person. I remember being in my head like, is this going to be cohesive? And I really do think like listening to it, we had we were tough. Like we were very hyper focused when it came to the production, and I do feel like you can really hear us on that, and everyone that we worked with was so nice, because we were also young, and we were like, we don't like that. Like we were very intense.
Like, no.
I think what's interesting is even when you have the songs that you featured on, which I can't think of many bands that have featured on anybody else's songs, let alone the discography of songs that you guys are just to feature on. But those seem like they belong in the HAIM catalog. When you are writing with other or performing with other artists, how active are you in the decisions of those recordings?
Like it kind of runs the gamut. You know, like which ones? I'm curious.
I mean, it's even when it's like A$AP Rocky, Kid Cudi, and maybe it's
Kid
because
Cudi,
how you guys sound.
Kid Cudi was amazing. He was one of the first artists to reach out to us after like our EP came out, and we were like such huge fans.
We were like,
and he was like, "Come to the studio this weekend. I'm going to be at East West." And we were like,
we also had never been to East West.
Yeah.
We were like,
okay,
what?
great. So I'll never forget rolling up, and he basically was just like, I have this track, and it was Red Eye. And so basically he had that chorus, but the verses were free. And we were like, he was like, do you want to write on it? And we were like, okay.
I've never been more nervous in my life. Like literally like the biggest bead of sweat. It was literally the size of my head.
It was really inspiring because essentially like the first melody that we came up with, he was like that. And we were like, that?
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was like,
okay.
That. And we recorded it within an hour, and then it was done. And for us, after
4 months,
painstakingly, and it was really like a lesson in like,
it was
sometimes
nice.
you just
sometimes when it's right, it's right.
It took a while to record the next, or at least to release the next album. So here you have this rush to get songs.
Yeah.
Tell me a story behind Something to Tell You.
Well, we were touring.
We were touring.
We
yeah.
toured Days Are Gone a lot. I mean,
years.
we did almost 10 like UK tour. We just kept going around and around and around and around.
How do your voices hold up?
Oh, we don't party.
On a wish and a prayer.
I mean, now I think we're a little bit better.
literally.
Literally, a
wish
lot of
and
steroid
a
shots.
Wish and a prayer.
Steroids and prednisone. But we were, even from the very beginning of us touring, like we used our music to get on tour. Like that was like what we wanted to do. Our goal was always to play live. So when it came to us playing live, we were so insanely focused. Like we knew that like if our voices went, that's an issue. Yeah. So we didn't party. We didn't do anything. No. We would play the show. We would like be taking an insane amount of echinacea, like an insane powered by echinacea.
Party a little bit,
like when we knew we had a day off.
No, we took it very seriously, but yeah,
we took it extremely seriously.
We don't
when you
really
released the second album, are you starting to feel like success is easy?
No. Is success ever easy? No.
No.
I think the thing that was just so great about that album, when I think about Want You Back and just the crazy chaos of that music video, was like funny. It was like really just set us up on the most. We work well in chaos. I had a therapist, shout out to my therapist, that told me that like we work like you're comfortable in chaos. Like when things are not chaotic is when you start getting antsy. Like you get like I focus the most when chaos is happening around us. And I'll just never like shout out to Jake Schreier. Go see Thunderbolts. He just directed Thunderbolts, but Jake Schreier directed our first music video for that era. And as a Valley girl, like, what do you dream about? You dream about shutting down Ventura Boulevard. That is like your dream. Tom Petty, like Ventura Boulevard. Yeah. And we always had this dream of like, can we shut down Ventura Boulevard? Not the whole thing, obviously. It's large, but we wanted to. In Jake's mind, we were like, oh, we're going to do this video where you're going to be driving down Ventura Boulevard. And when the beat kicks in, you're going to do donuts on the Ventura Boulevard. And we got like a stunt driver, and we had the whole thing ready to go. And Jake is like, okay, we're going to test out this rig to, because there was a driver on the outside. It looked like we were driving, but we weren't driving. Movie magic. And the driver ended up crashing the car
on the test.
And the first test, we were there for 10 minutes. And this rig, I guess it's called a biscuit rig, had broken. And I guess there was only one in America. And we were like, Jake, what do we do? And he was like, we don't have a video. So then Want You Back came out. And then basically we would go to play shows.
Yeah, the song came out without a music video. And I mean, talking about making behind the music, like we were making the video fans as well. Like we've loved the art of making music videos. And we were like, we're not going to have a music video for our first song back. We go play shows. We're in New York. Jake calls us and is like, the city of the Valley is okay with you shutting down Ventura Boulevard for one more day. And he was like, we were like, we're not doing a car because like the car, it's unsafe and this has to be the video. And we were like, well, what is safer than walking? So we were like, let's just walk. And it bloomed this whole thing of HAIM walking. But it was such a chaotic start. It was such a chaotic start, but at the end of the day, like when I look at that video, it was like such a beautiful moment. We got to like do the dream of shutting down Ventura Boulevard, and it was such a great.
We used to play on Ventura Boulevard.
I know we used to play on Ventura with Rockin at the Sherman Oaks Street Fair.
Not yet.
We actually ended the video exactly where we played with Rockin because they shut down Ventura Boulevard for the Sherman Oaks Street Fair. And it was wild that like where we ended the music video was where we played when I was like 5.
That's beautiful. Tell me about, I mean, Women in Music Part 3 is so good. I mean,
thank you.
I'm very familiar with the catalog, which I'm excited about.
Oh, wow.
I Quit, which I've now listened to. But Women in Music Part 3, tell me something about it.
No, I mean, Women in Music Part 3, I mean, it was such an important record for us. I think we were coming off, again, like our two albums where we toured so much. And I think one really cool thing about the start of that album was I was playing around a lot. I am like a staunch like user of GarageBand. That's actually talking about like songwriting. That's kind of what I feel like that's how we really started becoming better at songwriting, was utilizing GarageBand, because it just blew my mind. Before that, we were just writing on, like a little tape. We would just record on acoustic guitars. Yes, because I'm
to this day
I'm very superstitious about it.
On every album, there's many GarageBand still.
I'm just kind of superstitious about it, so I just always write on GarageBand.
I Quit starts with a song that feels like it's Rolling Stones meets.
Oh, wow.
Like obviously there's the George Michael reference, there's you've got Tom Petty, Sheryl Crow, like all these seemingly exciting, rich influences. Every one of your albums has a direction, which is also a compliment.
Thank you.
When you get to I Quit, you have another, it feels like it's it's more, I don't want to say like more organic than Women in Music Part 3, but it seems like there's like a different choice of tones and whatnot. When you go into this album, how did you decide on the musical direction, or is it something that just happens?
It's just kind of happens. I think the song kind of dictates like what it will sound like. I mean, again, like we were inspired by so many different things. We love lots of different references, but I mean, that's such a thank you
She's
for
taking
saying
it
that.
back.
I'm taking it in. I'm taking it in.
Let's talk about relationships. It's,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, Don't Be Wrong is now, or sorry, Down to Be Wrong is now. The both of them are out.
Yeah.
But for both relationships and Down to Be Wrong, the videos have this amazing cinematic quality, and you've cast really handsome actors. How involved in the videos are you?
Babe.
I will say,
the most.
Let me tell ya.
I think one thing about us, and honestly, I like really saw it a lot with Julian on like anything you see, like we're very heavily involved in. I think that's just
Well, we've always been that way. I mean, I think the thing that as siblings, starting with HAIM, we were such an extreme like brick wall when it came to other people's opinions. The thing that I always think about is like when I hold all of our albums, there is not one part of every album that we've done that wasn't a decision by us. Like I love every single album that we've done because it was all of our decisions. Like there were times on Days Are Gone where like we wrote a song, our label liked it, we hated it. They were like, you gotta put it on the album. And we were like, no. Honestly, I was thinking about it now. I was like a very spicy 21-year-old. I was like going up against these like big label heads being like, we're not doing it. Like, I'm not putting this on the album. And there was a lot of pressure. And I'm so happy that we stood our ground, because that Days Are Gone is a perfect album for all of us. And so there is no getting through this, you know.
we're very lucky that we
have each other.
There's three of us is kind of,
And we also grew up with like, I mean, again, behind the music, it was like all these things of like, I hope that one day I can do this. Like, this would be amazing if I shot a music video. And also just, we've learned so much along the way. I mean, we've collaborated with the greatest director on the planet, Paul Thomas Anderson, who is still to this day, don't know how, like, thank the gods that he came into our lives, but he taught us so much about that you don't have to do so much. You can do long shots. You can hold people's attentions.
Yeah.
And especially with these two music videos that came out. I mean, we worked with Bradley and Pablo did Down to Be Wrong. Cami Summers Valle did Relationship. She's incredible, and they have such amazing eyes. But the thing that was great about both of them is they were extremely collaborative, and they were extremely open to our
we kind of can't really work with
people.
We kind of can't work with anyone who isn't just very collaborative. You know?
Or like up for it.
Well,
says three sisters who've survived. You know,
it's all about collaboration. It's a family affair.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to our last segment, which is I'm gonna list 5 things and just tell me a story about these people. It could be a one sentence thing, but let's start with Ludwig.
Yes.
Oof. A sentence about Ludwig?
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Like
started everything for us. Like, honestly, like
started
everything, and we would not be here without him. Greatest person ever, and want him to win every single Oscar on the planet.
Tell me about Saturday Night Live.
Changed everything. I mean, I feel like everything changed everything, but biggest honor of all time. And the fact that we've got to play it twice is amazing. And put us in a sketch.
Yeah.
Please. We stand.
And then tell me about the Echo.
Oh my God.
The Echo. Honestly,
play it today.
Played it to death.
You would say we played it today?
No. I said we'd play it today.
Oh, we'd play it today.
Yeah, sorry. I'm also getting over a cold. But no, we would. I mean, if we would play the Echo, like
I mean, really, just like really cut our teeth?
Yeah, cut our teeth.
This
at the
is
Echo.
why I'm asking that.
Why?
Oh, why?
Did you come to our show at the Echo?
No, you opened for my band. Rebecca.
We
No
did?
way.
Wait, when? Wait, what's your
When?
band? What was your band?
And I have the poster
Stop.
No way. Wait, what band?
right here.
Wait.
Stop. I
No
remember
way.
this.
Wait, why does it
Poster.
have the year? It was like 2012. No, 2011.
No.
Oh my God, the Buzz Bands LA.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's my band.
Oh my
And here
god.
you are
Stop.
down here. And I gotta say that I remember you guys playing and being like, this is amazing.
Aw.
Because you don't forget three sisters who are playing rock music. And it was so cool.
Aw.
thank you.
But
I'm
this
dying.
is...
Can I
That is
have
so funny.
that?
I remember that.
No, we can't take
Can I take it?
Well, I was going to say you guys should
I
sign
remember
it,
that
but
night.
I would love to sign
Wait,
it.
I want to
Wait,
frame it.
the fact that also it's so pristine. Like, do you have like a
I
amazing?
do. So here, I also...
Yeah, how did you get? You just saved
So,
it.
well, I have a box of all of the glacier hiking posters that is
Wow.
like that. I don't have like that much stuff
Right.
anymore. I did, yeah.
Well, you have one less thing now because I'm taking it.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
would
that
be
is
wonderful.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
That
I
poster's like
remember
emblazoned in my mind. I
that
remember
poster
remember
was
that
such a
night.
big
Was that
deal.
right before South by?
I have to look
The
up the
weird,
years.
the weird thing is, like,
think
you
it
remember
was.
in the LA world, like, I opened for icons. I mean, but I remember, One Republican and Glacier Hiking, we used to play together a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember, Ray LaMontagne opened for my band, and
Wow.
we would go and play. How many times did we tour and play with 1 million people? I just didn't. This was right around when I'm starting to think like, oh, I could probably start having. I think it's earlier than 2011.
Something, it was around that.
'Cause
Yeah.
I think it might be earlier than that because I started getting some cuts that mattered for other people. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. I should probably write music for other people. Like,
Hell yeah.
I've sold, 10, 20,000 albums as an artist. And I've sold,
Yeah.
I was starting to sell millions of songs as a writer. I was like,
Love.
I like being in a band, but
Yeah.
We
you
should do
walk
a
through open doors.
reunion of this show. We should go to the Echo and do a reunion.
Or
I wasn't kidding. I would play the Echo.
Yeah.
Now I love the Echo.
I'll just come on stage with a shaker and be like,
Yeah.
Come.
crazy about this is like $8 at the door, $5 with RSVP. Like we had to beg our friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
And like drink tickets.
$5. Like, can I please get a list?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So
We used to pay our friends to come to
Yeah.
our shows. Like, we would say, like, you're on the list, but we would just go to the box office and be like, we're just going to pay
Here's,
for
like,
all
20
these
bucks.
tickets.
No, and then drink tickets.
And then we would get
I always
drink
do
tickets.
my birthdays were always around shows, so that way I could be like, well, I'm
At
just
birthday,
come here,
that's
and
a
then I
good
could
loophole.
use like the.
That's a good loophole.
that's a really good loophole.
Wow.
Well, guys, thank you for doing this. You guys are welcome on here anytime.
Oh, thank
And
you so much.
you.
It was so much fun.
It's a really cool thing when you can literally watch somebody from that
That's crazy.
to having the conversations we just had. I have a daughter now. I'm watching how women who are successful do it, and I would be honored to have my daughter have the kind of existence you guys have had, because I think you guys are doing it with such class. The way you're treating the music industry and the way you treat your peers, like, people talk so kindly of you guys because you've
Don't make me
been so
cry.
consistent. So I
you.
really do
Nice.
appreciate you guys, and it's been fun watching you since that show.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, well,
Thank
appreciate you
so much.
guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode. It was produced by me and Joe London in association with Mega House Music Group. If you like this episode, go give us a rating at wherever you listen to your podcast, and make sure to follow us at And the Writer Is on all your socials. We'll see you next week.